work tirelessly to put many things on the table. That our mothers, most women go beyond from being mothers to fathers. Those women who are upbringing children in a single mother family. So today we are going to look at that woman within the community. What are some of the roles of those women, the challenges? What are the support systems within the community? The gender violence that these women face. I'm Fatuma Nandego and welcome to 360. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, TikTok, X, Instagram. And today I'm being joined by a community health worker, Mrs. Alupo Martha. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Fatuma. To our dear listeners out there, my name is Alupo Martha. I work as a hospital social worker at Rubaga Hospital.
So talking of us, hospital social worker, what are some of the roles that you provide within the hospital and even the community? Because if you're an hospital social worker, is it that you only center in the hospital, or there is that aspect of the community?
Some of the roles that actually, there are so many roles that a hospital social worker does. From both the hospital, then also we look at the community level. Within the hospital, within the hospital, we talk of providing emotional counseling, emotional support to our patients who are admitted in the wards. Then I do psychosocial support. I also provide, I do mediation that involves...
But beyond the hospital, what do you do within the communities?
Within the communities, we actually work hand in hand together with the community health workers, community VHTs. These community VHTs, usually they are connected within the facility. So what happens is that we take the services to the community. One of them is actually, we look at awareness creation, though most of the time I am so much based in the facility. Within the facility. But ideally, maybe going back to the first question, since we are actually in the month of what? Women. Yes. You know, you actually said that what are some of the roles that women actually play in the community. We very well know that women are the backbone of the society. Without a woman, there is no what? There is no
most people say they can live without women actually. These days there's a saying, you go, I can live without you. Because they know what you only offer is cooking, maybe, and staying at home.
I think we can attest to this, that there is a slogan that says that behind a successful man there is always what? There is always a woman behind it. So that already gives us an indication that women play a very big role, which roles are actually not recognized. Some of these roles actually include, there are so many roles that women play that go unnoticed, that go unrecognized. For example, we look at issues of home chores. Home chores, we are looking at a woman.
But it's the role of the woman to do that.
It's the role of the woman to do that. That is how society has actually pinned it. That is how society has put it. You know, it is like how we can say that the issue of stereotyping, where we say that where we label specific activities to specific people according to their gender, you know. So that is exactly what is happening in the society currently. So what are some of the roles that these women play from the community, or that we play, that the community or the men are not actually
we are women.
Exactly.
So we talk
on behalf of women.
Yes.
There are so many things that we do that go unnoticed. One of them is actually taking care of the sick within the facility. Most of the times we see that it is women who
By
take care.
the way, I've noticed, like, when someone falls sick and they take them to the hospital, I've never seen a man nursing the patient within the hospital.
No, they are there,
But
but
really,
few. Majority are actually women because they have labeled it that way, that it is you, the woman, who is supposed to be in the hospital, not the man. Even if you're on duty, they can call you that, please, so and so is sick. You can even be having a boy at home, but because the community believes that you are the one who is supposed to be there, but not the boy child or a man. So women's roles, there's the various roles that these women that we play usually go unnoticed. Then we look at issues of bathing children. Are you aware that people take it as a minor thing? But on daily basis, remember, if you're having a child who is going to school every day, every morning you have to wake up in the morning. Make sure that you've prepared the eats that this child is going to carry to school. You're also preparing their clothes. By evening hours, you're preparing their stockings, you're preparing the uniform, you're preparing the shoes. You have to polish these shoes both for the man, you're polishing for the child, you're polishing, everyone in the house. You have to make sure that you're catering for them. So, but remember, this man will not notice that you're actually playing a very big role in the house. So they take it like it is a normal duty. It is now a normal duty for you as a woman, So it goes that way.
Aren't we going too far? Because the traditional society believes that we women actually are supposed to be the caretakers of the home, so we don't have to complain. So nowadays, if we come up that we are empowered, we come up like to talk about our rights, our roles, such that these people try to recognize them and respect us. Isn't it that we are doing too much? Like we are going far from the traditional way of life.
If I'm to tell you, we are not complaining, but we are requesting for fairness, and we are also not running away from these responsibilities, but we are saying that, look, can you also come a bit? Can you also do something?
You give a helping hand.
Give a helping hand. Now that I'm actually maybe preparing food, can you maybe also wash the plates? Not in a bad way. Wash the plates.
Producers say, I don't know whether you can do that.
Wash the plates, not to sit sitting cross-leggedly on a chair, watching the television from morning up to evening, and I am moving left and right. Going to the market, it's me. Cooking, I am the one. Going to the hospital, it's me. There is a very sick person in the house, bedridden, I am the one. All those things, it's me who is actually doing them. Supporting other family members from the home, it's me. Making counseling sessions for other people whenever there is a problem, I am the one struggling on phone.
Even when family members come home, it's you taking care of them.
So we are saying that, please come, do something, give a helping hand,
Okay.
So, and of course, maybe if I move to the next question, that what are some of the challenges?
Yes, the challenges that these women face. And I think we talk about this woman who is in the working environment and also acting as a wife in the community. So what are some of the challenges that these women face?
I would say that women actually go through a number of challenges. Most especially, they get burnout. There is emotional burnout.
Like our viewers, could you help us explain? Because me, I may understand it, but remember we are talking to that person who may not understand what burnout is actually.
Burnout, we are looking at this person in simple terms, actually, the person getting too much stressed. okale stress ng'omuntu afuna stress y'amaanyi even okulooza. Actually most of the time a real concentration now, this person is rotating between work. They even don't get time to move out of those daily duties. So they are rotating around that. This person psychologically gets what? Stressed. They get tired. They get affected, which at the end of the day also affects their psychological well-being. It also affects their mental health. The physical bit of it. You will be worn out at the end of the day because the body is working throughout without rest. So then we also look at issues of course, unpaid work.
Am I supposed to be paid to do the dishes?
You're not supposed to be paid to do the dishes, but remember you're investing the whole of your life. Taking, washing, doing what we could call actually the care.
Looking after the elderly, the chronically ill people.
So we are saying that the challenge is that this person will not get time to rest or to take leave.
Or even like to get time. Maybe sometimes she has even signed for leave from work to take care of the family. So she has lost. She's not working, like financially. There is some damage being caused.
Exactly, there is a financial damage, and most of the times, remember, no one is paying you for this. But if you were maybe given a chance to go and work, you're able to even pay yourself, take yourself out, get that emotional support. Stress goes away. You're able to socialize with your friends. But now the challenge here, financially, you will remain constrained forever.
Okay.
Yes.
So beside the unpaid
beside the unpaid leave, of course, we also look at we cannot be promoted from the community. We lose out those leadership roles.
Actually, that woman in leadership within the community, especially deep there in villages.
Yes.
Why is it that I don't always see LOC one is a woman?
LOC, and that is why we are actually saying that the way community has labeled the women, they believe that a woman...
We are not supposed to lead.
We are not supposed to lead. We are not supposed to take the leadership roles.
Actually, in my religion, a woman is supposed to be behind the man. The man is supposed to lead.
And I think even now on your side, it even becomes worse. I'm sorry to our viewers,
Yeah,
but I usually see in the Muslim setting, women sit alone, men sit alone. You see, maybe you needed to tell us why it is done like
next time. So for now, I think that would be a discussion for next time.
Then another challenge that we also see that there is also reduced retirement services.
But we didn't dive like about leadership, maybe unpromoted law. You didn't tell us more about it, like this being promoted, those women within the communities.
Yes.
Like, do they have a right maybe for equal representation, to be maybe a woman to lead, to be at the top of even men within the communities? More highlight on the leadership aspect.
Thank you so much. Actually, when we talk of leadership, I believe that women are supposed to take equal responsibilities, equal leadership roles like men. If you're an engineer, then what you can do, I can also do. As long as that the person has the capability to do those leadership roles.
But sometimes we women, we have a tendency of saying what a man can do, a woman can do better. But again, this woman, maybe she got pregnant and the man abandoned her. She started crying. And yet she said, what a man can do, a woman can do better. So, and you're saying that we have a right for maybe equal opportunities even in leadership. Like if I'm an engineer, maybe my brother is an engineer, I can also be an engineer and I can also do the same that he's doing.
I think what we need to understand here is that we are not competing for the leadership roles, but we are saying that can we have the fair distribution of resources if right now an opportunity came that needed maybe a role that is a bit masculine, and when a woman is able to do it, I put in my application, you put in your application. We should actually not look at that the masculine part of it, but ideally we should look at the capability of the person to take over the role. Because most of the times what I'm seeing in terms of leadership, there are offices that actually a woman cannot lead. For them it is that way, that it is basically a man who is supposed to work in that specific job, but not a woman. You understand? So here we are not competing, but we are looking at fair distribution of resources for both men and women.
That is equity and equality.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because when we talk of equality, that is equal distribution of resources. But when we talk of equity, we are looking at fairness. Okay. You understand? Because some other person will again bring that question that, okay, you're saying that you want to be equal, which might not actually be possible to men. But let's distribute. Let's look at the fair part of it. Okay. Yes, that is what we are advocating for.
So on the issue of gender-based violence, Mrs. Alupo.
Miss.
So women face a lot of gender-based violence within homes, and actually these people are comfortable with it. There's some things that women go through or experience within homes, but for them they take it as normal. They're being abused, you're doing work overload within the home. On top of that, the man comes back, he abuses you, he asks you for this, bring me this, even something that is here says you bring me that thing. What are some of gender-based violence that happen on women within homes that they don't notice?
Oh, when we talk of gender-based violence in the communities, most especially on the side of women, one of them is actually battering. We have so many women who are being beaten on daily basis. You know, they beat them, but they convert it in form of love.
Yeah, they say actually it is an act of love.
It is an act
and
of
someone
love.
Goes to say, yes.
So we can actually see that the way the community put it put it in such a way that if a man does not beat you, it shows that he doesn't love you. That is an act of gender-based violence. Then we look at psychological, by the way, severe psychological torture, where someone is actually, there are men who can just quarrel on daily basis, and someone is abusing.
But there are also some quarrelsome women.
They are there. Yes. I do not refuse. You know, there are also quarrelsome women who are outside there. There are actually many. But we are looking at this woman who is struggling from that relationship, and she's not able to come out of it
because she thinks it is love.
And she thinks it is normal for someone even to do what? To be abusing you on daily basis. You're not able to sleep. The whole night you're actually awake. That is actually deprivation of what? Of sleep. So it becomes actually part of violence, you know. So then we have issues of sexual gender-based violence.
That's what I was going to talk about actually. I was going to ask you that next question. Because sometimes these men, because women, we go through a lot. Maybe you've just given birth, you've done a lot of work within the day, so then at the rest of the day you just want rest, maybe to go and sleep. But again, this man has just come back from work, so he wants from nowhere. So you're telling him, me, no.
And it is one of the acts which is actually not discussed by women. Most of the women are being abused sexually, day and night. Young children who are girls, teenagers who are girls, women, real married women. Some other person can say that, okay, you're married.
Do I have a right to refuse when my husband comes back and I don't want?
You have a right. But now where the problem comes in is when you are actually not willing to maybe have sex that day. And the person is saying that, no, why did you get married? You understand? So it becomes like slavery, you know, where you're not able to negotiate with your partner that, you know what, today I am in my periods. There are men who can even jump on you even when you're in your periods.
And if you refuse, it is a tug of war.
You
can refuse to leave money for food in the following morning, not coming back home, or even not talking to you for a month or a week.
Exactly. So when we talk of sexual gender-based violence, I think the government or strategies need to be actually developed, which need to address such on how to help victims that are going through sexual gender-based violence. Though, of course, there are organizations that are there. We shall talk about it maybe later. We are also looking at the other form of violence is actually physical violence that I talked of. That is battering of women. Then the other one, we can categorize them into three: physical, psychological, and sexual violence. Those are the different forms of violence that women go through while in the community. Now the question is, who is there to listen to this woman?
Actually, what are the support systems within the community?
Okay. There are different support systems where victims of women affected by gender-based violence can actually reach out. We look at CBOs. Those are community-based organizations. There are community-based organizations that are out there to support women, and they are ready to listen to them. We look at probation officers. They can listen to this.
Let me say, I've just experienced maybe sexual gender violence with my husband. So where do I report? Where do I get immediate support? Most of them just end up maybe telling a neighbor who can't even maybe sometimes provide like adequate support or even solution. So where do I get that immediate support? Like where do I report?
Okay. One of them actually, victims of these women suffering from maybe violence can go to police.
So at police, where exactly?
There is a desk that is responsible for such activities. When you go to police, you tell them that I am actually, when you report your matter, for them they will guide you to the rightful desk responsible for such cases. Then we also in police still we have child and protection unit.
Yes.
So even women, when you reach there, they guide you according to that. Then of course we also encourage these women, they can go to LOCs, because these are the first contact persons in the villages.
Do they have authority? Because the problem is to report to someone without authority, because that happens most times and people be like, they get biased even. They be like, for us, we are tired of reporting. Even if we report, we don't get justice. So, do they have authority like to intervene within the situation? It maybe they can maybe bring out maybe the man, or maybe impose something like on the man. The restriction is, or even punish him.
So if I'm to answer to your question,
Yes.
usually when we are dealing with the cases of gender-based violence, most especially for women, I think we are not supposed to also be biased. You know, it's better for us to begin from the LOC one, report the matter to police, then go to a health facility. If you've been sexually abused, let's say you've been raped, you can also go to a hospital.
To get evidence.
Not getting evidence. Hospital, we are going there because we want to check. You can, this person has to be, maybe you want to check. The person can be started on what we call PrEP. PEP. PEP is usually given with
maybe like the part of rape, not this one that we are talking about of married couples. So the one you're giving is for the part maybe you've been raped. That's when you go to the hospital maybe to be started on PrEP. Because when you're with a man, that is your husband, even though they have sexually harassed you, I don't think, because I know when you've been raped, they have to go to the hospital maybe for examinations and tests, like to get the evidence sometimes, and even for you to start maybe PEP and PrEP most times. But this married couple was being sexually harassed.
Yes.
Because beside the LOC one, then police.
Then we will have community-based community-based organizations. Then we also have, there are other organizations like probation. We also look at, some time back there was Action Aid, you know. They were also providing that help. But I also want to tell you that even married women, your husband has not been around for 3 months. He comes back. You know, you don't know his status. Maybe he has not been around for 1 year. It is not a guarantee that because you are married that he forces you into a sexual act, that you don't go to the facility, because you don't know what this person has been doing from wherever he was. So feel free. You're also a candidate for.
Okay. So since we are running out of time,
Yes.
I want us to talk about men. So what are the roles of men? What should men do to ensure that they support these women within the community? The woman who is carrying the burden of the family. Because we say for any successful man, behind there is a woman. So what should men do? What roles should men do to support their women?
I think the first role, men should actually provide a helping hand.
We should overemphasize it, like at least maybe even increase like such that men should at least hear that. Yeah.
The men out there should actually learn to provide a helping hand to the woman who is outside there, because this woman is not actually maybe this is not, the woman outside there is not an instrument for work.
Actually, we are all human beings.
We are all human beings, and the man outside there should learn that the woman is not a slave, but a woman is a companion who is there to help. They should also provide psychosocial emotional support. Learn to listen to these women. Learn to maybe provide, we are talking of maybe providing support. It could be in terms of even paying school fees for children, doing house.
Actually, these men that have abandoned their families, like you're a man but you don't pay school fees for children, and you even staying with that woman, but it's the woman that does everything, paying school fees, feeding the family, even feeding you.
I still stick to my point that I want to encourage all the men to support women, because these women are not slaves.
We are not slaves
to them. We are not slaves to men, but we are helpers to them, you know. And they should also learn the abilities that women can do, and those ones that women cannot do. And we're also looking at, of course, their fairness, you know.
That equity.
That equity. Men should learn to be fair to their what?
Their women.
To their women. They should actually not take them as maybe sexual objects. They shouldn't take them like non-living things, but ideally they should learn to appreciate every single work.
So that aside, in 30 seconds, we know most times, because we are social workers, not so.
Yes.
But most people don't know our roles within the communities. So as you did social work, besides the clinical aspect of it, in 30 seconds, what are some of the roles that social workers do within communities? In the community.
We have community engagements. Social workers work hand in hand together with the village health teams. They also help in promoting maybe personal hygiene in the communities. They promote awareness in the communities. They provide psycho-social education in the communities. So generally, social workers play a very big role. They act as advocates.
Yes,
they also act as mediators.
So as a family may be facing challenges, where could an individual maybe find a social worker? Because these people, they need, like, maybe I might need some counseling. So where do I find you? Where do we find these social workers?
Social workers are in different places. There are social workers who are in the hospitals. There are social workers, like
so
most especially for the community,
yes.
They can go to the sub-county.
Sub-county.
Yes. Sub-counties have social workers and different departments that handle community activities. A man has beaten a woman is running away, maybe because of certain issues, they can even go there.
Okay, thank you so much. Our dear viewers, hope this has been an amazing discussion. So tubadde twogera ku omukyala ali eyo mu community atuwuliriza. N'omusajja sinti tubadde twogera ku mukyala yekka, naye we twogera ku mukyala kitegeeza n'omwami abeera waali awo ku lusegere. So ng'omukyala ali eyo nga byonna bye twogeddeko, like maybe you can relate, it is kind of familiar, don't hesitate to get help, and your life matters, because we only have one life and it doesn't have spare parts. So your last word for our viewers.
To all the viewers, we want to thank you so much for listening. And to our women outside there, we want to encourage all the women to report acts of gender-based violence. Please don't sit down, but report all acts of gender-based violence to different respective places. And finally, to our men, we also encourage you to support this woman who is in the community. Thank you so much.
So please, men, support women within the communities. Thank you for being here with us, and don't forget to follow us on our social media handles: YouTube, Elethe360, TikTok, Instagram, and X. You've been nice listeners. See you next time.